250, 300 websites, so we have a really good gauge on what works and what doesn't. And what we're seeing is very effective these days is people that, number one, they do a blog, but number two, they put it on the front page. Now, I'm not talking about the entire blog post, just a little bit of a snippet at least that links to the entire blog post on your actual blog. This does a lot of things for you. Number one, when your site changes and a search engine goes and looks at it, they like that. They like to see, if you build a page and leave it there for 5 years, they're just assuming that you haven't done anything for 5 years. But if they go visit your site again and there's something new there, then obviously somebody's working at your company. And then they go look at it again and there's something else new there, and they keep doing that. Now remember, it sounds like a lot of work, and it is. That's why search engines love it. They love stuff that's hard to do. They love video, they love blogging, they love content writing. They like that because it's hard. And most people don't take the time and effort to do it. So if you're doing it, they're going to give you more credit than your competitors. So one of the tactics that we've seen that's very effective and is on Mike's site is Mike takes a national newsletter that Gene Storms creates and summarizes in his own words what's in that blog post, what's in that newsletter on his front page, and then links to it back in his blog on the site. So and he doesn't do it all the time, he does it once a month. So it's not like you have to blog every day or else you're just not going to be there. You just have to be consistent about it. If you decide you have enough time to do it once a week, do it once a week. If you decide you can only do it once a month, do it once a month. I'm pretty sure that's all the blogging you're doing, right? That's it. Number one on search in Houston, city of 9 million people. So I can't say that that's the number one factor because it's probably not. He's also been in business for 15 years and his URL is old and he's got a lot of traffic and other stuff. Established, mature. What's it called when older? Yeah, it's good vintage on his URL. Yes.
I have a blogging question because part of it is like interacting. That you my understanding is you shoot up from interaction with people in blogs. But if anybody who's ever blogged also realizes all the just unbelievable spam that you get. Is there any secret sauce? I mean, you just have to read all the spam and make sure it's not spam?
You know, there's some spam filters you can put on there, but unfortunately a lot of it still gets through.
Yeah.
And we've had people complain to us. I think Mike did a little bit early on. And he's like, I never had this before. I was like, well, no one ever found you before, so of course they didn't write any blog comments. But so basically what happens is people are going to find you, and one of the things that people do to increase their own search engine rankings is they go out into the internet and put links to themselves everywhere, including on blogs. And there is some spam filters that will eliminate a good portion of it, but a lot of it's going to get through, and a lot of it's going to be vendors contacting you, and sometimes it's going to be tenants contacting you. It's just part of doing business on the internet. But you're right, when people do interact with your blog, it does help. But for the purposes here today on the on-site stuff that you can do, summarizing it on the front page has been extremely helpful to our clients.
Can't you delete posts that you don't want on there?
Sure. And you can set it. There's two ways you can do it. You can set it to just allow every comment to be posted automatically, which you got to be obviously pretty careful of, because sometimes people say mean things about you, or they put up dirty links or things that you may not want associated with your website. Or you can have the authority to approve comments as they come in. So which we recommend doing. If you're going to have a blog, you definitely want to have the ability to approve those comments. You do not want it just to be a free-for-all, mainly because of the spam. Even if people aren't saying bad things about you, the spam load is going to be heavy on a blog, especially if you're getting found. So, any questions on blog? And okay, a lot of people ask, what kind of content should I do on a blog? And it's really pretty simple. You're a property manager. You do your job every day. If somebody calls you and says, how do I handle eviction? Write it down. Record yourself. What did you just tell that owner when they asked you a question? What are you going to do for me on advertising? Write it down. How do you handle maintenance? What about I need to replace car? Write it all down. That's all good content. It's all content that people that might be doing this by themselves might want to know. And just because you told them doesn't mean they're going to, I mean, a lot of them won't hire you, but a few of them will. So the blog and the video is designed to help you get better search engine rankings, but also make the implication that you're an expert in your field.